Welcome to the Halftime Podcast, a 15-minute show where two panellists with opposing views must discuss why theirs is the best, and you get to decide the winner.
Hello, I'm Danny Cook, and welcome to yet another episode of Halftime Cuppa's Halftime Podcast. Today, I'm joined by one very brilliant panellist in the form of Conor Martin, who will give his views on whether Joe Hart should have gone to the World Cup. Conor, how are you today?
I'm not bad, Danny.
Good.
How are you?
Yeah. I'm good, thank you. We've both obviously finished uni very recently. How's post-uni life treating you?
It's a bit strange, to be honest. I'm trying to find what to do with myself, to be honest. Yeah, it's sort of come to the realisation I'm growing up at last.
Yeah, it's scary times, scary but exciting times. Talking of that as well, do you mind just sharing your North Ferriby?
Yeah,
I can't get my words out. North Ferriby achievements, which you and the lads sort of successfully done.
Yeah. Basically, when was it last year? Start of September last year, I think. No, sorry. It must have been 2016. And we started off an FM save, and we've taken North Ferriby from the Conference North or the National League North all the way to the Premier League and the Champions League in 12 seasons. So we were quite delighted, and it happened on the last ever day at uni as well. So we had a little bit of celebration.
Yeah, nice way to wrap it all off.
Yeah.
The
people in the pub can work out what was going on.
Yeah, anyway, moving on, we're going to talk about Joe Hart today, and we'll find out your views in just a second. But don't forget to the viewers listening in, you can share your view in the comment section below or the poll below. We've got a poll, so don't forget to vote there whether you think Joe Hart should have been named in Gareth Southgate's England squad. So I guess that's the sort of first place we're going to start really here, Conor. Should Joe Hart have been named in Gareth Southgate's squad?
Just based on form, nah. Like he should have. I mean, the lad's he's lacking confidence so much. Like him at West Ham, he's made a few mistakes this season. Like without to Roma last year, being like I don't think he really wanted to go, but he has to go just to get some game time, really. And I think he did all right there, but he could have done better. But to be honest, since he became Man City's second choice keeper and had the loan out, there's just other English goalkeepers who have stepped up and made their presence felt, really, and the media have taken attention to them, and so have the England team. Like Southgate's, like all three goalkeepers are quite young, so I think Southgate's gone with quite a youthful team for this World Cup.
And just on that Torino loan, do you think that kind of sort of hurt him in the sense that, I mean, for me anyway, it feels like Italian football doesn't obviously get as much presence in the UK as much as English football. Do you think that kind of hurted him and his England chances?
Yeah, I think it did. I mean, with no disrespect to Torino, they're not a big club in Italy with like the likes of AC Milan and all that. So I say, if we're playing like such a smaller club out in Italy, he wouldn't have got the attention, because I doubt many Torino games are shown on BT or whatever Italian football shown on. So yeah, like he wouldn't have got the attention, and there's just like a less of a chance of him getting picked up on the radar, especially like if he was doing well out there, then maybe he would have got recognised. But like you say, it's quite hard, I think.
Yeah, and it's hard, as you've mentioned. They're not, no disrespect to Torino, but they're not a top side. So for him to be stealing the headlines, like it could go two ways. He could either be this brick wall that's just that stops everything, and Torino go on to do a Leicester, or like he's just not gonna get the plaudits he should get for conceding maybe some unstoppable goals because of what he's got in front of him.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, personally, I think when he went out to Italy, I think he should have had the mindset just of like thinking of just proving everyone wrong, because he had that bad spell at Man City when he was making mistakes, and that's the why he lost his first team spot. Went out to Italy. Now, like if I was Hart, I would have thought, oh no, like everyone in England thinks I've had it, passed it. That was his chance to prove him or prove his critics wrong. But I don't think he has. I mean, he's sort of improved. He's regained a bit of form, but he hasn't become the keeper he once was.
Mm. Do you I mean, if you was to lay blame with anyone there, do you blame essentially Joe Hart, or do you blame whoever's sort of decided for him to go out to Torino? Because as you said, there's less exposure.
I mean, to be honest, you can sort of put the blame on both sides, really, and also the media as well. I think you'll have to agree. There's a lot of pressure on England players. Half of it's so unneeded, unnecessary. But yeah, I think Joe Hart. I don't think I mean, in the last few years, he's been doing adverts and all that stuff when his focus should be on football, really. But I think Man City should have got him a better deal. They should have pushed him into a better club where he could have actually worked with better players, and maybe he would have gained some more confidence by playing with higher standard players.
Mm.
Like we say, no disrespect to Torino, but I doubt like most of that squad are world class. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And going back to the summer just gone then, and so that was what, summer 2017, and Joe Hart ends up at West Ham. What was your thoughts at the time on that move?
I think it was a good move, to be honest. I mean, like ideally, like he would have gone to an English club when he first went out on loan. But yeah, thing is, he's had a bit of trouble sort of juggling for the first team spot with Adrian, and he's made a few mistakes this year, and I think West Ham fans have been on his back, and yet again his confidence has taken a knock. So it's a bit of catch-22 there, really.
Yeah, I mean, my sort of next question to you, with Hart losing heart, essentially losing confidence, pun intended. What is or how would you, if you was him, how would you go about, regaining that confidence? Because goalkeeping is hard. It's hard to do that.
It's all about confidence, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, I'm sure when he goes back to Man City, he's got to have to chat with someone, with a, I don't know, sports psychiatrist or something like that, or a goalkeeping coach, just getting right in the right mindset. Because, Jesus, I'm trying to think of an example of a goalkeeper that's been destroyed, who had his confidence destroyed and has never recovered. So, I mean, you could say Scott Carson. Yeah. But Scott Carson sort of recovered from their mistakes, but they were high-profile mistakes. I mean, they cost us qualification for the European Championships, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, another one, Rob Green.
Rob Green,
yeah. That one moment, I think, kind of defined him. Yeah, I mean, he was very mistake-prone, I think, throughout his career. But
aside from that, it was a solid keeper. I mean, especially for QPR and West Ham, of course. But yeah, it's just, it must be difficult for keepers to get over that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So with that in mind, then, could there be an argument for him going to the World Cup instead? Hypothetically, say you were Southgate and you sort of had him in your squad. Why would you have him in your squad potentially?
It's just the experience as well, and like I think you have to agree, when he's on top form, he's also quite a good leader. Like you see him commanding his back line, and he's one of the lads who'll get the team going. So just you'd have him as I don't know, second or third choice keeper, just for a bit of lads. Like if he was going to this World Cup, it would be what his third major tournament with England.
Yeah, pretty much. I would imagine so. I would imagine so.
Or fourth, because you got the Euros. Is it Euro 2012, World Cup 14, and he went to France, didn't he? Yeah,
He went France. I'm pretty sure he was at the World Cup. So
yeah, so he was have enough like tournaments under his belt for a bit of experience. Do you know what I mean? So Southgate's has missed a trick. Just if you're being all trying to teach like the younger lads how to deal with pressure or something like that. But when it comes to form, he's made the right choice.
And you're talking about him again, going back to what you said earlier, maybe that lack of confidence. Surely being excluded from an England squad after being such a senior figure is not going to do his confidence any good.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, you had Paul Robinson when he got dropped from the England team. I don't think he plays for England again, did he?
No, most of these goalkeepers don't, do they? Let's be honest. I don't remember Rob Green playing again.
No, you're right. You're right. I mean, it must be a big psychological barrier to get over.
So, with that in mind, do you think? I mean, I wouldn't expect you to know any answers because I wouldn't know any answers to how they would deal with this. But would you expect maybe England to provide some more support, or like Southgate to have provided some support in the sense that we've clearly identified that he's lacking confidence because of what's gone on over the last 2 seasons. So surely, with him being such a senior player, surely Southgate and the FA are probably duty bound, to look after him and to support him.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's their duty to give them or give him some advice. I mean, because I think he's got to leave Man City. He's got to find like a club he can go to and get regular first team, maybe even the lower half of the Premier League table, just for a bit of confidence. In it, at least this summer, he's got the whole World Cup pre-season to work on his form and regain some confidence. And hopefully, you'll see like a better, improved, more confident Joe Hart. Because I don't doubt his work ethic. I mean, like I said, he's a leader, and on his day, he's one of the best keepers around. But he just needs that boost.
Yeah, I think he's been. Yeah, I agree. I think he's a really good goalkeeper. He's certainly better than me in goal anyway. But yeah, he's a really good goalkeeper.
Jeez, he beats you that height, doesn't
he? He just needs that little bit of confidence right now. I mean, it's a tough time for him. This is probably I would imagine, his toughest spell in terms of goalkeeping. Yeah. So I'm hopeful he'll pull through. And as you sort of suggested, he should look for a lower league, well, not a lower league side, but a lower Premier League side. Yeah. Or, maybe a mid-table team. Just to get that experience of playing alongside a different team and different styles and different players. I think that probably help install some confidence in him.
Yeah, I mean, because going out on loan.
Keep going, Connor. Sorry.
Yeah, because going out on loan, I suppose that sort of it's not very good for his stability as well. Do you know what I mean? You want some sort of like he needs a home, like a proper home, just to feel settled.
Yeah, certainly in these tough times. Yeah, certainly. One last question then. Do you think we will ever see Joe Hart pull on an England jersey again?
Yes, but I think you have to wait for the qualifiers.
Okay, well, there we go. I think we will. I think we will as well. I think this is just going to be a minor setback. I don't know if it'd be back for good. But I think I'd be surprised if they don't give him a game at some point over the next couple of years. So yeah,
I mean, it's the ultimate test of character, really, isn't it?
Yeah, how do you come back from that? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So, good. So yeah, really good debate there. As you heard, the full-time whistle went, but really interesting. So thank you, Connor, for that.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
So to the listeners, please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to vote in that poll too on whether Joe Hart should have gone to the World Cup. Be sure to check out the various pieces of content we have scattered across our site, as well as our football predictor at halftimecuppa.com. Connor, I saw that you submitted a piece this morning or last night. Do you want to give us a hint at what it is? Because it may just be coming out, or may just have come out by the time this podcast goes up.
Yeah, it's just my match report. I was out there Tranmere v Bournemouth National League promotion final on Saturday, and that's just my take on the game, really.
Excellent. And it was a really good game too.
Oh, it was a cracker. Fastest ever red card at Wembley, I believe, as well.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was a red card as well. So yeah,
proper Sunday league tackle, wasn't it?
It was. Nevertheless, please do go check that out when that's up. That may already be up by the time this goes out. So do go and have a look. But before we wrap up, let's give today's panelist, Conor Martin, a massive shout out. How can we follow you on social media today?
You can follow me on Twitter at ConorJMartin96.
Brilliant. Please do that as well. You can follow me at DannyCook1996 on Twitter as well. Thanks again to Connor for coming on. Thank you very much for giving up your time.
Yeah, cheers for having me, Danny.
No problem. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Oh, likewise. For making me blush.
I've been your host, Danny Cook, and you've been listening to another episode of the Halftime Podcast.